I've got this recipe from Once Upon a Chef, and it is a really easy one. It has a half a cup of heavy cream, 2 tablespoons of Irish cream. They're wanting Bailey's, but I don't have it. A tablespoon of unsalted butter. This is unsalted butter. A pinch of salt and 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, best quality such as Ghirardelli. This is 8 ounces of Ghirardelli semi-sweet chips. We're going to get the rest together. Mom's going to help me. And we're going to do this real quick and then put it in the refrigerator before we run over to the hospital to see my friend who's there. 1 second, I got to get the cream. Okay, I got the butter in already. I just cut it at the 1 tablespoon mark. This is a microwave recipe, by the way.
That's 2 tablespoons.
And it wants 2 tablespoons of the Irish cream and a half cup of the heavy cream. This is a 2 tablespoon measure. Mom brought me a squeegee to get this all in. The smell of this, it still has a little mint smell, but not real heavy mint compared to others that I've tasted, which is probably why I like it, because I'm not a real mint fan. This has a honey flavor. Mom just licked a bit off her finger and said yum. So can you do this for me? I need to get just here's the Mom's getting the cup clean. It says to do a pinch of salt. The pinch was actually a measurement at one time. It's about 1/8 of a teaspoon.
No, it isn't.
A 1/16 of a teaspoon. I don't know. I'm just gonna
32nd.
This is Mom's 1/8 teaspoon. And I just put a hair of salt.
Salt brings out the chocolate flavor.
And that's exactly it. The salt brings out the flavor. This is a microwave recipe. It says put it in for 70 to 80 seconds and then let it sit to completely melt. Recipe wrong, and it says to do the butter, Irish cream, and the cream and the salt, and then after that's done, add the chocolate chips. I put it all together. My mistake. Mom's stirring it to fix my mistake so
Very
that
slowly.
the chocolate doesn't harden in the liquid.
Yeah.
After this is done and she gets it stirred, completely melted, and is glossy and smooth, then refrigerate it until it's completely firm. They say about 3 hours. So this will give us a perfect opportunity to go to the hospital before we come back and make these into the balls. And I'm not going to coat these in the confectioner's sugar or cocoa or finely chopped nuts or coconut that are here. I'm actually hopefully going to dip these so that it's more my idea of a truffle. Mom says that it doesn't taste like the Irish cream at all. We'll have to see how it works out later. Admittedly, I'm using the St. Brendan's, where Bailey's has a more minty flavor, and that might be why, but we'll see.
It's glossy. See how pretty?
Yeah, it is glossy. There we go. Well, we went and saw my friend that's in the hospital, and I forgot to reset the clock in the car, so we're an hour late. I find it interesting that Russia doesn't reset time change anymore, but the United States does. This actually calls for parchment. I'm using wax paper because it's cheaper than parchment. Sorry.
You have both.
Yes, I know you have both, but this is cheaper. This is almost like fudge. Just going to roll these into balls for now. Gonna have to have help. Gonna have to make, I guess, balls and then roll them after. Gotta wash my hands. I've got to get this off so I can hold the tool. I'm just gonna scoop these out and then roll them in a bit. This is, I think, a good size for these. The bigger scoop would be too much. Part of the reason why I'm using the wax paper instead of the parchment is this will come off easier, and I'm not baking on it. If I were doing bread or something, I'd use the parchment, but not for chocolate. A little bit of condensation off the plastic wrap I put over it, so I had to dump that off. Mom says I don't have to roll this at all, but I think I do a little bit, just because I want to dip these and at least have them look a little bit better, more uniform. Sure, it wouldn't make a lot of difference in the flavor, but I was just talking to a friend of mine, a neighbor friend, that they do electronic recycling. They're an e-recycler, and I was talking to him about computers, because mine, ever since, and it's getting worse, the later and later the build gets on Windows 10, I'm having more and more lag delays. But I was talking to them about computers. That one's going to be a tiny one. And talking about M.2 SSD hard drives, the high RAM, the i9 processor. I'm an Intel person, by the way, if you couldn't tell by the i9. But I was talking about how long the videos, the longer videos, affecting my speed on my computer. And here I am, just letting that run. I'm going to roll these into balls. We'll get back to it. I need to wash up for a bit. Well, I'm going to have to put these back in the fridge to cool some more. I try working them and my hands are too warm after being out at 73 degrees. I've just taken these back out of the fridge, and even cold, they're not wanting to roll real well. As soon as I touch them with my hand, they're softening considerably. But I'm trying to get these rolled into a semblance of a ball, at least. I'm not going to get them dipped tonight, but I can put them back in the fridge and work on them a little better, maybe tomorrow or something. I might start another batch. Not sure yet what I'll get done today. I want to get the video posted. But today has had a lot going on, so I haven't been able to get as much done as I would have liked. But c'est la vie. Life does go on, and such it is. Doing this one next. This one's the one from No Plate Like Home, and it actually uses Irish cream as well as coffee liqueur. They all want Baileys, and like I said, I think I messed up because the Irish cream that I got doesn't have as strong of a mint flavor. It does have it's more of an aftertaste than a in-your-face taste. But this one also wants bittersweet, 65% cocoa, 4 ounces. Here's semi-sweet, not bittersweet. Here's bittersweet, 60%, and it's 4 ounces. 4 ounces of heavy cream, tablespoon of Irish cream, teaspoon of coffee liqueur, and a tablespoon of cocoa. I think I'll try this one. It said to break the chocolate, cut the chocolate into 1-inch pieces. I just broke it. It's in a microwave safe bowl, like it says. It says to heat it in the microwave about 90 seconds or until it's melted. I'm going to do 30 seconds, 30 seconds, just so that I don't overheat it, because it says, do not let it overheat or burn. I'm supposed to heat 4 ounces of heavy cream. Small pot, heat on medium-high until it starts to bubble, and then add to the heated cream the Irish cream, the coffee liqueur, and the melting chocolate. Stir for a minute until it's smooth. Refrigerate for a few hours. It says 2 hours, but it'll probably be overnight. The timer just went for the third 30 seconds on the chocolate. It wasn't melted after 2. We'll see. I'm going to put this on the stove. The chocolate's melting. It's not melted. It is warm. I'm leaving that in the microwave. I'm going to let this start to bubble and get ready to start measuring the Irish cream and the coffee liqueur. Just kind of a, I guess, side note. When I was researching heavy cream for how the percentage of fat in the heavy cream, they actually say that it's used a lot for thickening cream soups because it has less of a tendency to curl the higher the milk fat content is. I don't know, it doesn't really make a lot of difference, but thickening soups, this is what to use. This is just starting to bubble. I don't like leaving it on the burner with this induction stove. For some reason it never cools off. You have to take it off the heat. I'm adding the chocolate first. Gonna stir this into the cream, and then I'll add the liqueurs. And because of the milder flavor using the St. Brendan's, I think I'm going to use 2 tablespoons, the same as I used in the other recipe this morning, and still stick with a teaspoon of the coffee liqueur because I don't want to overkill on the flavor for that. Okay, there's the teaspoon of coffee liqueur. That is the 1 teaspoon. I'm using, like I said, the 2 teaspoons of the Irish cream because the St. Brendan's isn't as strong of a mint flavor. But I do want to have a little bit of the Irish cream flavor, not just the chocolate. I'm going to get out a bowl and put this into a glass bowl and put it in the fridge overnight, the same as I did the other one for a while today. Going to put the liqueurs back away and clean up the kitchen, but I'll keep you with me for part. Well, I've got this in the bowl, got it cleaned up. I can put a plastic wrap over it without it sticking to the top of the bowl. I'm going to put this in the fridge and clean up after myself. I just spent, I don't know, half hour doing Mom's dishes, cleaning her kitchen, and here I am making a mess of it again. But I wanted to do this, and I still have things to do on it, but wanted to add a little bit more tonight before I do something else. I know there's Friday I probably won't be able to do much because there are already plans for Friday. Tomorrow the weather's supposed to be intermittently bad, so I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. If possible, I'll be in the kitchen, and we'll go from there, see what happens. Thanks for watching Perhaps Cooking. Feel free to share, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe.